Hey, welcome back to our Advent study where we are taking Christmas biblically seriously. As we are winding things down, we are looking at some of the different locations in the Christmas narrative and seeing how God would use that location that he sent his people to, or that things just transpired in, to speak to the location you might be in this Christmas season. Maybe it's a physical location, a mental location, an emotional location, a spiritual location that you may be in. But I wanted us to look at the different geographical locations in the Christmas narrative and see what God may say to you through them. And today, I want to look at the geographical location in the Christmas narrative of Herod's palace. Herod's palace. Let's look at some scripture and then we'll unpack this. Matthew chapter 2, we'll read one verse, and it's verse 12. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their own country by another way. This right here is talking about the wise men. The wise men had already, if they're being told not to return to Herod, they had already been to Herod. They have been in Herod's palace. They have been in Herod's chamber. And Herod had told them, as we've looked at, tell me where the King of the Jews is going to be born, for I too want to come and worship him. And they thought, okay, wow, this guy's really getting with it. And as we looked, that was completely and utterly fake. And later on, as we see here, an angel comes, warns these wise men in a dream, and tells them, don't you dare go back to Herod's palace. This thing that seemed good, this place that seemed all right, this place that you were planning on going back to, I'm telling you not to ever go back that way. Find another route. And I really feel this strong today. I felt like this was going to help some people, that God is telling you there are some places you can't go back to. Like, you can't go back to Herod's palace. If you're a wise man, you don't go back to Herod's palace. There's a way that seems right to a man, is what Psalm says, or the proverb says, but its end leads to destruction. Its end leads to death. I wanted to encourage you this Christmas season. You do not have to spend another day in Herod's palace. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to spend another day being manipulated. You don't have to spend another day being lied to. You don't have to spend another day in this place of pathetic, stinking thinking that is lesser than a child of God who's been bought by a high price. You do not have to keep going back to Herod's palace. You are not loyal to Herod. You are loyal to King Jesus. And King Jesus is calling you unto himself. King Jesus is calling you into a place this Christmas season where you can embody and feel and experience and remember all that he is. Because that's what this is about. This Christmas season is about him. I wanted to encourage you. You know what I'm talking about right now. You have your own Herod's palace. This place that you are tempted to go back to, that God is using this moment right now to encourage you. You never have to go back there again. You do not have to go back to Herod's palace. Some of you, there are some places maybe this Christmas you actually literally physically need to avoid. It's not just a mental place you need to not go, or some mindsets that you need to drop, but it's a literal physical place that you don't need to go because you know nothing good comes from it. Nothing good comes from it. And in order to honor the Lord, you don't have to go back to Herod's palace. I would encourage you, if this is striking a chord with you, to take time to pray and ask God, number one, reveal to me what my Herod's palace is. And God, show me a way out. You know, that's what scripture says, that when temptation arises, God always, he is faithful to provide a way of escape. If you're feeling tempted to go back to Herod's palace this Christmas season, this winter season, maybe you're on a break from school, you're tempted to go and do some things you know God's not calling you to go do. Pray, ask God to reveal what those things are if you don't already know, and then ask him to show you the way of escape. You do not have to go back to Herod's palace.